Green River, wheated, foolproof. Could this possibly become my new go-to wheated bourbon? Let's find out. How are y'all doing today? My name's Chris. Welcome back to Bourbon Sane. Green River Distilling Company is one of those bourbon companies that's really just up and coming and maybe even arrived at this point. Everything I've tried with them so far, I've really liked. Their single barrel program is great. They've got a whole bunch of different expressions, and the best thing about them, their bottles are available and their bottles are affordable, which for me, and especially in this bourbon market, this bourbon climate, is a huge thing. Green River is located in Owensboro, Kentucky, and they're actually a part of the Bardstown Bourbon Company, kind of like a sub-distillery. They own the distillery for them as well. So, as mentioned though, Green River, I just put out a recent video of my top favorite craft whiskey companies, and Green River made that list. Like, most of their expressions, they're very, very good. Their flavor profile agrees with me. It's almost a little bit of a minty note. And honestly, their wheated bourbon, though it was a lower proof for their normal expression, still very solid as well. Very good solid wheated option. So that's why I'm very intrigued to find out how this foolproof wheated option is going to taste today. So this bottle specifically, as mentioned, is the wheated foolproof. This one is 109.3 proof, but the batch variety, this is just batch 1. Future batches may go up to about 115 proof. So we may see that coming in the future, a little bit higher proof, but pretty low on this one for a barrel proof, you know. But that's nothing wrong with that, honestly. Still foolproof. Still going to give us that oiliness and viscosity we love. At least we hope so. Mashbill on this expression is 70% corn, 21% wheat, so 21%, and then 9% malted barley. So definitely a wheated mashbill. No rye to be found in this one. And they say age on this is between 5 and 7 years. So blend of 5 to 7 year bourbons. I didn't realize this, but when I was reading the press release on this, wheated bourbon is now a third of the bourbon market. That's kind of crazy. But the more I got to thinking about this, it's really true. I mean, some of my favorite expressions that I've had or that I reach for on my bar are wheated bourbons. You know, Maker's Mark alone is a huge portion of that, I'm sure. You know, but I think of things like Rebel. I'm a big Rebel fan. I enjoy the Bardstown wheated, which has roots similar to this, probably. Just multiple others. Weller, of course, and wheated mash bills, you know. So it's cool to see. Cool to see a third of the market, but that's crazy to me. So color on this, not super dark. Pretty viscous though. I mean, a lot of oiliness, a lot of sticking to the glass, a lot of legs on this. So I do like that. But yeah, the color is not very dark for a foolproof. Again, not super overproof though. You know, under 110. So nothing wrong with that. Let's go to nose. Yeah, very rich caramel is the initial thing I get on the nose. It's certainly got a whipped vanilla layer there too. Now, I almost get that kind of whipped vanilla, whipped rich caramel on wheated expression sometimes, too. Think like a Werther's caramel sometimes. That's kind of what I'll get. There is slight graininess in this, meaning to me it's, you know, about that 7 year or less age. That's typically sometimes when I'll pick up some grain and some whiskey. But it's got a really nice nose. You can actually get some toasted oak coming through on there, too. Almost like a burnt brown sugar caramelized oak. It smells nice. I mean, it smells really nice. That signature spearmint note, you know, I always describe with Green River. I'm trying to find it. Maybe I could talk myself into it a little bit, but I think that's probably more from the rye portion of their mash bill is where I get that note. And almost everything I've had is, you know, of course, rye containing, so. Man, nice nose, though. Impressed so far. So let's go into palate here, guys. Okay. So I was a little concerned when I first got into this. I mean, looking into the color. You know, looking at that color, I was like, man, is this not going to give me much of a mouthfeel, much of a finish? I'll say it gave me a nice punch, mid, center, and then sides of the palate. You know, kind of faded off at the back of the palate, but the whole front center, mid palate, really nice viscosity, really nice mouthfeel, and tastes really good. You know, that graininess I was describing on the nose, not really coming through on the palate. Drink's really nice. I honestly would not know that this is a foolproof, though, or a barrel proof expression, anything like that, just on palate. I mean, it drinks about 110, 115, so it would seem to me more like a Russell's Reserve type proof, where it's there. And you can kind of tell it's not barrel proof, but it's still giving you a nice rich flavor. This isn't as old as something like that, but it's still really nice. Really nice. This is giving me like a lot of bubblegum notes. And I don't mean like minty bubblegum. I mean like juicy fruit gum. Bubblicious bubblegum. Smells good. Tastes good. It's still got, as mentioned, those classic notes that came through on the nose. It's all pretty much there, except for that graininess. You know, that graininess really is not coming through. Let's do one more sip. I'll tell you, this thing is actually getting better. The longer I'm letting it sit here, the longer I'm drinking it. It's pushing and leaning more into those wheated notes now. Slight breadiness, immense caramel sweetness. You know, could even argue like a little bit of lighter fruit, like a little bit of cherry in there as well. So, yeah. I mean, this may become one of my go-to wheated barrel proof, at least, options. You know, we think like Maker's Mark cast strength. That's a lot of people's favorite. Maker's Mark, I will say, has gotten better for my palate over the past 5 years. I never used to like anything from them. Now I really appreciate the 46 cast strength. And I even think their recent releases of the regular cast strength for Maker's Mark has gotten significantly better, at least for my palate. I think maybe it's just me acclimating to their flavor profile a little more, but I'm enjoying them much more. I still will take this expression over the Maker's Mark. Probably either of them. Maybe the 46 I like a little bit more than this. But I think in general, this just meshes more with my flavor profile and my palate specifically. You know, think like Bardstown Wheated. This is a very similar expression to that. Of course, the proof isn't quite there. It's really the same bourbon, just amplified a little bit. And I'm sure Mashbill may not even be the same, but that's still in my mind where it's going. Maybe just because I know that it's owned by the same company. You know, that's possibly why I'm thinking that too. But let's talk price on this. This is $49.99. I mean, $50, sub $50 for a barrel proof, full proof bourbon, and specifically a wheated expression too. As a consumer, we love to see that. Now that I got a chance to try it too, I got to see it's actually good. And knowing Green River and how distribution is with them, I bet you this is going to show up in almost every market. You know, so I'm very pleasantly surprised to see that. I am very pleasantly surprised with how much I like this and the expression. If you guys find this, I'd say it's a pickup. You know, and at $50 or less, it's worth the gamble all day. So give it a try. Let me know what you guys think. All right, well, I appreciate you guys watching this review today. Please do let me know if you guys had anything from Green River, and if so, what's your favorite expression? What do you like from them? Do you like them or not? I just want to hear from you. If you haven't yet, make sure you do like this video and subscribe to the channel. I've got a plan to probably do, now that I've got a wheated bourbon here, especially a full proof, I want to do a full blind wheated barrel proof maybe expression lineup. You know, we'll throw in a Rebel cast strength pick. We'll throw this in. Maybe a Maker's 46 or regular Maker's cast strength. Maybe a couple others. So give me some suggestions you want to see in that blind as well. I think that'd be something fun to do. And now that I've had another wheated, I kind of want to, I'm back in the wheated mood. So let's go into it, right? I appreciate you guys watching today. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon. Stay insane.